syndrome. And I'm thinking, there's no way the teacher lets these 4 kids sit together. Because they're like toxic, you know. It's like a toxic group of kids, and everybody else was like, okay. And I thought, maybe she had them back there because they were toxic and couldn't control them, so she just let them go. Watching the great pharaohs of Egypt. Oh, stimulating. Names you couldn't pronounce, things. But you know, I learned a lot. You know those different stones, the Gaza is the biggest pyramid there is. You know those stones weigh 1-2 tons each? And they had 100,000 people at a time building them. You know you can get a lot done with 100,000 people. And those 100,000 work at 3 months at work and they'd be let loose for a while. They didn't say they were slaves, but they were. A lot of them were slaves. In fact, it said it got so desperate that the Pharaoh put his own wife in the harem to make money to keep building the pyramid. And what does that say about power? You think this new sexual exploitation just happened? Anytime you have men and women in life, you're going to have sexual challenges. The problem is not we're going to have challenges. Keep yourself like you're supposed to be. My mom always said, every time I go out somewhere, I'd say, "How I look, Mama? How I look?" Say, if you act as good as you look, you'll be fine. Well, the truth to that. So anyway, we see here that a shepherd provides protection and security. What I was getting to is this. I'm going to correct my children, my grandchildren. I'm going to protect them also. My job. Our job. Okay. Number 5, we want to lead them to fresh pastures and water. What does that mean exactly? Okay, kids, go out there and graze. Don't just play. Go graze a little while. No, I don't mean that. It means to lead them toward the right stuff for their growth. If you have a child that's not growing spiritually, you have a child in the wrong direction. They can learn everything academic can teach them. If they can't learn spirituality, they're going to be a failure. The problem today is we have all these academics in our country, all these educated people, but not a lot of spiritual people. Well, I submit to you, if you are a spiritual person, you have a good education. If you have a great degree without spirituality, you are an ignorant person. You can't be truly wise without the Lord. Number 6, searches out the sheep when they stray. Search out the sheep when they stray. You know, one of the greatest weapons anybody can carry is a cane. They don't think a lot about that, but canes can be a dangerous weapon. This is a staff. This is not a cane. You have to be 7 feet tall. This is a cane. This is a cane. And that shepherd was and is an expert in taking care of the sheep because he has responsibility. If a sheep dies, he's responsible. A hireling is just somebody kind of watches the sheep and lets something goes wrong, they can run off. God said, I'm not a hireling, I'm a shepherd. So the sheep are out there, all sweet. All of a sudden, you want to know, where'd sheep 100 go? Way over there, about 50 yards off. He's wandering off over there. There's all kind of ridges and danger and darkness and wolves and bears and all kind of stuff. And the shepherd doesn't say, hey, sheep, would you please come back over here? No, he doesn't. No. He moves that flock over there. If it gets close to that sheep, he hits that front leg. And that hobbles that sheep. That sheep, a little while, is going to stumble around. Why? So he won't be killed. He's trying to save that sheep's life. That sheep falls over that deep, dark ravine. He's not going down there because there could be a wolf down there. He's going to take that staff, reach down there, grab by the neck, and pull him back up. When a wild animal comes along, he's got his back. He's ready to play ball with that. I'm serious. You can do a lot of damage with a hard stick like this. So the shepherd not only knew how to pasture and how to lead the flock, how to protect the flock, how to correct the sheep. That sheep when had his leg almost broke, as he was healing the process, he's thinking, Well, I'm going to do that again. If Van Sparrow says God will thump you, get you back in line, He will. And we were healing from that thump. We're thinking, I don't want to be thumped again. So what can I learn? That's why discipline for children is so important. It's so wonderful. It's a blessing. Boy, to be able to spank your child, that's just one of the most fun things in life. Or to make your child go to a room and write an essay. I love that. Oh, what they don't know from class last week, when they watched the Pharaohs, I said, by the way, take your paper out and take notes. Teacher wouldn't leave that instruction. That was my instruction. And they said, well, how many notes are we supposed to take? See, what they want me to tell them was a certain number, say, go through real quick, and be over. I said, no, take as many as you need to get ready for the test.
There you go.
What test? I didn't tell them. I want to motivate them to listen. By the way, when your child does something wrong, it is your job to discipline your child and your grandchild. Now, grandparents, it's the parents' job to discipline their children, but when I'm in charge of those kids, or Mama is, we're in charge of that. And you know, you're being a blessing for them. When they learn the word don't and can't. Don't do that. You can't do that. Why? Because I said so. If you don't do that, you're going to grow up in a life thinking they do anything they want to do it. Nobody can tell them anything. That's the problem. I don't mean beat your child. Every once in a while, I'm going to beat them.
It don't hurt.
No, no. What I'm saying to us is that we are child abusers if we don't discipline our children.
You're right.
Right? Yeah.
You're right. Amen.
Well, I see sometimes little snots. Oh, Lord. Not little, but I see big ones. All right. They provide protection while they sleep. Now I leave you there to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to you. If I was to die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to you. I used to say it as a little child every day. Some people today have no idea what that even is. Now, number 8. Defends sheep against all enemies.
Amen.
Defends sheep against all enemies. Let me kind of get back to that a minute. I grew up on C Street. 1907 C Street. My best friend lived on the corner of C Street, Wheeler Avenue, David Vantries. He's dead now, but all the Lord. He and I, and Tommy Farmer, Bobby Lewis, Clifton Umbry, we all played on C Street. Now my daddy lived on C Street all his life, for the most part, moved 3 times. My grandfather's house was next to us. His house, first house, burned during the flood, 37 flood. You say, how did the house burn and flood? Well, vandals burned it up. And we played football out in the street, and the wire was the goal line. We played badminton on either side of our sidewalk. The net was really low. I have fond memories of that. Tommy Farmer one time thought it'd be really funny. So I had a big brother, 8 years older than I am. And Buddy knew if he did something, and these guys were a little bit older than I was, if they did something to me wrong, Bubba was on the job. He'd be out there hitting some heads together, okay? And there was a time when Jimmy Galt, who lived down the corner of Wheeler and C on the side here, he was kind of, he wasn't, I don't know what he was. He was old. So I was down at the house. This is a big old scary house. I was about 6, 7 years old. And he had me come in the house, and he somehow dropped on me a concrete block. Yeah, I was little. You think I'm little now. I was real little then. I mean, I was little John. I was little. My mother bought the smallest blue jean and took up the seat. I mean, I was little. I still got no seat. But she took it out the waist. So I came walking home, dirty and concrete bruised. My brother said, well, what's Mary? I said, well, Jimmy Galt dropped a concrete block on me. He said, he did. I'll be back. He went down there and just walked him all over the neighborhood, beating him in the head. Beat his head, took care of him. He said, I guarantee you, you'll never have to worry about a cardiac block again. He took care of his little brother. Now I'm not encouraging violence unless it's necessary. I'm not encouraging violence. What I'm saying is that we live in a life nowadays that's so dumb, we don't protect our own kids. If somebody hurts my kid or my grandkids, I guarantee you I'm going to do something. I'm going to make sure they don't do that to anybody else's kids. I don't believe it's right for a child to talk back to an adult. To be smart, to be, you know, tell you what they ain't going to do and that kind of stuff. Who are you, tell me? Well, I'll tell you who I am. I'm your elder. I'm the adult. Now, a lot of parents want to be their kid's buddy. I have no desire to be the buddy of any of my kids.
You did that.
Now, I'll tell you why. When you want to be a buddy to your kids, you lose the line of discipline. In school, when you're a teacher or you work in a job. If John Blankenship went to his workers and wanted to be their buddy all the time, well, his discipline would go out the windows for his authority. You got to draw that line there. You got to have that line there. And therefore, when you say something, it means something. We was in Penny's the other day, and I walked in there, and two young ladies said, Dr. Shaw, how are you? When they say, I know I'm in school. I said, well, I'm fine. How y'all doing? Talking and everything. They're doing great. Going to school and working and everything. That's pretty cool. I like that, you know, when kids see you and recognize you and speak to you and everything. And most kids are great. They really are great, you know. Sometimes the teachers don't treat them very well. You know, to give respect, you have to give respect. And so, you have to understand that if you're being the proper shepherd in your household, let me tell you what. Ephesians 6:1-2 says, fathers, don't aspirate your children. Don't bring them to wrath. Teach them how to be the kind of man you're supposed to be. My dad, as you know, was a drunk. First in your mind, he was a drunk. I'll tell you what it was. He was a good man. Kind man. Kind. If I have any kindness at all, I learned it from him. But I'm saying as parents, you gotta know when to fold them, how to hold them. You gotta know when to do what, how. Now, that's not easy to be a parent like that. But God leads you. So you protect your sheep, defends the sheep, He disciplines and corrects the sheep. And He keeps sheep on the move so they don't get into a rut. I like that one. You gotta keep them moving. You know, my wife said a rut is simply a grave with the ends cut out. You want the best for your kids. I want the best for my kids, best for my grandkids. I want them to do better than I've done. I've seen some parents that are jealous of their children. I'm not jealous of my children. They're smarter, better looking, better shaped, doing great. I'm proud of that. Are they perfect? No. My grandkids perfect? Close. What I'm saying is that we got to get back to understand what is what. First of all, parents, you are responsible to teach your child what's right in your home. Grandparents are to reinforce that. In school, the old saying should still hold true. You get in trouble at school, you get in trouble at home. And so we see a good shepherd takes care of sheep, but part of that feeding is also correcting. Part of that correcting is also disciplining and training that sheep properly. Now, small groups, for example. Developing a deep-rooted relationship with God and each other in small groups. Each small group must have the following. A facilitator, that's one that's guiding the group's Bible study. A shepherd, the one who's guiding the group's care. And a leader who's guiding the church's mission. What are we going to do as a small group to reach out for the kingdom? Here's our main objective for 2018. Lead people to Jesus. That's got to be the main goal of every single church, and we are losing that and forgetting that. I had lunch this week with head of the evangelist department at KBC. We were talking about why believers are not evangelizing. See, I'm old enough to remember when I was a kid how churches went out visiting and shared the gospel, and we had our great years of reaching the lost. All of us would agree biblically we're supposed to do that, but we don't do it. So what's the missing link? The missing link is a passion for Christ. If we really were in love with Christ like we're supposed to, we'd see the priority of that. This year we've talked about 3 circles, how you lead someone to Christ in the 3-circle methodology. We also talked about, I'm reading a book now called Sharing Jesus Without Freaking Out. And what that means is you learn to do it conversationally as you are, as you go, And this last week he asked me, as we're having lunch, well, tell me, who's the last person you shared Christ with? Wow. Kind of put you on the spot, huh? Kind of put you on the spot. So, I left that lunch and I thought, well, I don't know, I'm supposed to do that. Now, I got a doctorate in the seminary, and I'm saying to myself, I'm supposed to do that. Duh. So I go to the mall, and a lady that we know very well, do a lot of business with. She and another lady were there together. This young lady's about 21, she's about 50. And I said to both of them, are you a Christian? The young lady said, well, I'm a Baptist. I said, that's not what I asked you. Are you a Christian? And the other one said, I can't say that I am. Now here's somebody that I have seen probably 50 times. I never asked that question. And you know what? She was happy that I asked her. She said, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not. I need to come to your church. I gave her a card, etc., etc. I'm going back and see her. What I'm saying to us is, the big lie the devil tells us is, well, they won't accept me, they won't accept Jesus, they won't like what you're doing, they're going to reject you, they're going to... No. If God tells us to do something, and we don't do it, it's called sin. We should not believe the lie of the devil, believe the promise of God. That people will hear and will accept Jesus Christ. If we're going to see these objectives, we have to lead people to Jesus. We have to experience the American Door Connect groups. We have to create an environment of loving and caring for people. And we have to teach and increase stewardship. Keys to discipleship and church growth. We don't give to be right with God. When you're right with God, you give.